Although the government is shut down, FEMA employees are still on the clock during hurricane season. We have more coming up.
What would you do if you received a water bill for $2,000? One Denton family did, and we'll tell you why later in the show.
Halloween's here and so is the music. I'll be back with more excitement later.
Broadcasting live from the University of North Texas, this is NTTV Nightly News.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us on NTTV Nightly News. I'm Aaron Erie.
And I'm Katie Muncie. We are in the second day of the federal government shutdown and in the middle of hurricane season. Here in Texas, hurricanes can mean big trouble. Two of the agencies responsible for our weather safety are still operating, but at a reduced level. CNN's Ivan Rodriguez has more.
The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration and the Federal Emergency Management Agency will remain open because they're deemed essential to the protection of lives and property, but employees will still feel the impact.
They're doing the work without pay, without an understanding of when this shutdown is going to end. Will they get that back pay eventually?
Chris Vigaski with WiscoNet says he hopes the shutdown is resolved quickly so it doesn't severely impact the livelihoods of employees. The Weather Forecasting Agency has less than 4,000 employees for the first time in decades. It lost more than 560 people to layoffs, early retirement incentives, and other programs aimed at shrinking the size of the federal government. The agency has enough staff to accurately predict tropical storms and hurricanes, says a NOAA official who spoke to CNN on the condition of anonymity for fear of retribution.
The question, of course, is for how long and what other supporting capabilities, if you will, might be compromised, especially with so many people being furloughed right now.
With some local NWS offices short-staffed, former NOAA administrator Richard Spinrad worries about weather events happening simultaneously across the country.
What happens if we have another hurricane outbreak and some wildfires in the West, severe drought in the Midwest? All of a sudden, you're stretching that workforce so very thin with regard to providing those services across the country and for all of these different environmental hazards.
I'm Ivan Rodriguez reporting.
Well, speaking of weather, I assumed that we would have escaped the 90-degree heat for now, but apparently I was wrong.
Well, Katie, this is not exactly the fall season that I'm used to back in Michigan, but let's toss it on over to our weather anchor, Julianne Wynn, to see if we can possibly expect some of the cooler temperatures soon. Julianne?
Thank you, Aaron. Unfortunately, it's not going to get any cooler anytime soon. Right now, we're seeing at 87 in Denton. It feels like 87 with a wind speed of 7 miles per hour. Moving into tonight, we're going to cool down just a bit at 73. It's going to feel like 74, and it's going to get a little slower at wind speeds of 3 miles per hour. And moving into tomorrow, it's going to heat right back on up at 88. It's going to feel even hotter at 89, but hopefully we'll be able to cool down with those wind speeds of 9 miles per hour. And it looks like something else is in the air besides pumpkin spice. To celebrate the start of October, Oktoberfest, a festival originating from Germany, has made its way here to UNT and is happening right now. Navaya has more in the story. Navaya?
Thank you, Julian. I'm here right outside the Union where Oktoberfest is in full effect, where UNT is always trying to find a way to celebrate big. Today, I am attending the Oktoberfest, and we will be learning about the heritage, the culture. We're going to be getting free food, live music, and I am here with Josh Baksh. Josh, what is your favorite thing about UNT Oktoberfest?
For me, I would say the overall culture piece. As you can see, we have probably 500 students here, so the culture piece is very big for me. I would also say the food. We have a lot of good food here. We have pretzels, we have sausage on a stick. We even have a potato pancake that's really, really good. And then just the overall history of it, I don't know too much about it, but I like to research it and tell my students about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what would you encourage UNT students? How would you tell them to get involved?
It's all about the food, right? So We stress food here at UNT, and food is very important for the student. So I think this gives us a chance to showcase what we can make. And although we don't, we learn about the culture, we get the recipes, and we're able to try to mimic what this culture is about. And I think we're doing a pretty good job, as you guys can see. So, yeah.
Well, thank you, Josh. This is definitely my first time hearing about this event, but I'm so glad that I'm here, and I'm going to stick around for a little bit, and I'll be back with an update. With NTTV, I'm Navaya Pantoja.
Thanks, Navaya. Oktoberfest is only one of the many events going on in the DFW area. We have rides, food, and big techs. The Texas State Fair has it all, and it's in full swing after opening on September 26th. New fair events for this year include the State Fair Classico International Soccer Match, new rides on the Midway, and the debut of Jazz at the Fair from the Black Academy of Arts and Letters. Be sure to bring your clear bag because the fair updated their security policies, requiring a transparent bag for all fair visitors. This year's theme is Texas Shines Bright and focuses on Big Tex's personality. The theme captures Big Tex's goodwill and resilience, and it's a theme that the State Fair believes every Texan has. The State Fair is going on until October 19th, so be sure to head on down to the Fair Park before then. And coming up, for one North Texas resident, it was better than winning a big stuffed animal at the State Fair. He took a chance on a scratch-off, and it paid off to the tune of $3 million. The ticket was purchased in Irving and was claimed on September 26th. Who won, you might ask? Well, the winner wants to stay anonymous for this moment. This is the second time in the past year that a store in Dallas-Fort Worth has won the lottery. 2 more will remain. Will you be the next winner?
I don't think I could ever be that lucky. However, due to taxes, that $3 million might look more like $1 million. Our segment anchor, Sydney Fleming, has more on this. Right, Sydney?
That is right, Katie. That $3 million is actually going to look a little bit more like $1.9 million thanks to federal tax. And although state voting does not directly affect federal taxes, your vote still matters and can make a big difference in the long run. You can make sure you're registered to vote online at votetexas.gov, and if you're not registered, you can still send in an application to the Secretary of State's online registration site. But hurry up, because you must be registered 30 days before Election Day. Any U.S. citizen is able to register to vote, so make sure you check the address of your local county elections department by visiting their webpage. The last day to register to vote is October 6th, and early voting begins October 20th. Election Day is Tuesday, November 4th from 7 to 7, so make sure to make a plan, stay educated, and get out and vote.
A $2,000 water bill was delivered to a Denton family. We have more coming up.
And some pricey changes are coming to the tech world. We'll tell you why. Don't go anywhere.
Craving something fresh, flavorful, and made just for you? Look no further than Avesta, your go-to destination for delicious, full-service dining experience. Dive into our customizable omelets, expertly crafted by our talented cook Jonathan, who guarantees every bite is perfection. All our dishes are handmade, prepared with only the freshest ingredients. Explore our assembly line where you can choose from any of our globally inspired dishes, or customize your plate. It's that easy. And let's not forget dessert. Indulge your sweet tooth with treats from Clark Bakery. With convenient payment methods including card or flex, it's the perfect dining spot for any occasion. Quench your thirst with our wide selection of drinks. Just hand your drinking card to our friendly waiter, and they'll bring your beverage of choice right to your table. When you're done savoring every last bite, our attentive staff will whisk away your tray. Enjoy the peaceful ambiance as you dine in, or use our takeout option for a meal on the go. Avesta.
Is your water bill higher than usual? Well, you're not alone. One Denton resident is speaking out after she received an enormous bill from the city.
Enrique McNeil received their monthly bill. They were shocked to find a 700% increase in just 1 month.
I was just floored. I didn't know what to think. I thought there was no way. And then I was like, oh my gosh, we have a leak, we have to have something is going on.
According to the city, the couple had used a community pool's worth of water in just 1 month. To get a second opinion, the two hired a plumbing company to inspect her house. The plumber found a small leak in their sprinkler system. However, the city meter never registered it.
Not showing any signs of a leak. No movement whatsoever.
Raiden shared her experience on the Denton Around Towners Facebook group. The post received over 100 comments, with many users saying they've experienced similar issues with their own water bills.
Customer service is number one for us. So instantly, we just have to practice compassion for the resident and say, okay, that looks large to us too. Let's help.
Irrigation, outdoor water use is probably the largest culprit when we see escalation in bills. So I would, check your controllers, take advantage of our programs. We have turf replacement programs. We have a program that will do a tune-up.
The city does offer inspections to those who may think they have a leak. However, for Brandy and Henry and many other Denton residents, their issue still remains unresolved. With NTTV News, I'm Katie Muncie.
A very different kind of money story, a price hike for your video games. Microsoft is doubling the price of its Xbox gaming system. The company says it's raising prices for the top subscription tier by 50%. That comes out to $30 a month or $360 a year. On the other hand, Sony tops out at $160 a year for their PlayStation. The pushback already is starting gamers complaining about the price hike, and they say they will cancel their subscriptions. But if you have a lower tier subscription, you're not safe from the price hike there either. Another big price hike, but this time for your memories. Snapchat is now asking its biggest users to pay a monthly fee to keep those videos and photos. Back in 2018, Snapchat started letting its users keep their media rather than letting it disappear, but too much of a good thing. More than 1 trillion memories were saved, and that is costing the company. With about 460 million users every day, Snapchat says it needs the extra money to keep the service going.
As Taylor Swift is entering her showgirl era, fans are getting an extra special weekend. The singer-songwriter is releasing her new album, The Life of a Showgirl, on all major streaming platforms when the clock hits 12:01 a.m. tonight. This marks the 12th studio album for Swift and will be her first since she became the owner of her whole music catalog. It's almost showtime.
Well, Katie, you know how much of a jazz music fan I am, and I heard you may actually have a recommendation for me.
Yeah, Aaron, that's right. And if Taylor Swift really isn't your vibe, then there's always Denton local jazz scene. NTTV's Kaylee Bonilla has more details. Kaylee?
I'm here with Molly Carter, who's going to tell us a little bit more about the Twilight Tunes event. So Molly, tell me about what's going on tonight and who's performing.
Sure. So Twilight Tunes is through the Denton Main Street Association. I'm Molly with Denton Main Street. This is Fingerprints playing for Twilight Tunes. We're here at Wolf's Park every Thursday, 6 o'clock, a free concert for the downtown community. So come out and check out the tunes.
So you've heard it here. If you're ready to listen to some new bands, then come on down to Wolf's Park. With NTTV Nightly News, I'm Kaylee Bonilla.
Kaylee, that sounds like an event I will definitely want to be checking out.
I agree, but it is still so hot outside, but hopefully it'll cool off by next week because, you know, I would love to support our local artists. But Julianne is back to give us our full forecast. Julianne?
Yeah, thank you, Katie. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but we're looking at high 80s and low 90s across the area. Again, 87 in Denton. We're looking at highs of 90 in Graham and lows of 86 in Bowie and Decatur. Moving on to our state map. Yikes, it's looking even hotter. 93 in Austin, and again, 87 in Denton. We're gonna go ahead and move on to our 7-day forecast. Unfortunately, it looks like those sweaters are gonna have to stay in the closet because it is not sweater weather season. Notably, Tuesday, we have a high of 91, but As opposed to last week, we're looking at a wider range of temperatures. Since we're looking at those low 60s, I recommend wearing layers, or if you're feeling bold, putting on a sweater so when the sun is up, you're able to take it off, but when the sun comes down and it becomes a little cooler, you could put that sweater back on and put those layers back on and just maybe walk around campus and pretend it's fall. That's all for weather today. For now, back to you two at the desk.
Thanks, Julianne. Nature lovers all around are mourning the loss of Jane Goodall, the legendary conservationist. She passed away on Wednesday at 91 years old from natural causes. CNN's Tom Foreman looks back on Goodall's life as she transformed from scientist to activist.
Jane Goodall's love of animals began at an early age.
I was told that I was watching earthworms before I could talk.
As a child growing up in World War II London, she escaped into books about Dr. Dolittle and Tarzan.
My dream when I was 11 years old, I will grow up, go to Africa, live with animals and write books about them. And of course everybody laughed at me. We didn't have any money. And finally I was the wrong sex. Girls didn't do that sort of thing.
But that didn't matter to legendary paleontologist Louis Leakey. After hiring Goodall as his assistant, he sent her to what is now Tanzania in 1960 to study chimpanzees in the wild. With no formal scientific education, Goodall conducted her research unlike anyone else, giving the chimps names, observing human-like behavior, even gaining acceptance into chimp society. Her unconventional methods led to several landmark discoveries, among them that chimps use tools and ate meat just like us. Her findings forced scientists to redefine humankind and reconsider what really separated us from our closest cousins.
They are not just objects, not just things, that they have personalities, minds, and feelings.
Goodall would earn a PhD from Cambridge University and be named a Dame of the British Empire. And through her institute, she became a tireless advocate for animal rights and the environment. One of Goodall's proudest accomplishments, creating a youth program called Roots and Shoots.
To bring up generations of children around the world to be better stewards of the planet and to be more loving of each other.
Even in her later years, Goodall spent 300 days a year on the road preaching her message. But no matter where she went, nature was never far from her mind.
Wherever I am, I can close my eyes and imagine myself in the forest, living with the most fascinating beings, out in the forests I dreamed of, doing some writing, which I love, a little bit of teaching, which I enjoy. I mean, what better life could anybody have?
When we come back, more opportunities for the World Cup tickets coming up.
And what would you do if you got a traffic citation from a robot? We'll show you Florida's new advancement later. For decades, police departments have been introducing new technologies to use on patrol. One South Florida county might have the next big thing. CNN's Terrell Forney has a story.
Meet Pug, a police patrol car powered by AI.
I think it's a game changer.
The Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office unveiled the new state-of-the-art vehicle that has the capability of being fully autonomous.
For us, it's a way that we can touch our community in a way that we really have never done before. And we are setting the standard what will be the future law enforcement for this country.
There is no other police vehicle on the road in the U.S. that's like PUG, which is an acronym for Police Unmanned Ground. The high-tech patrol partner was donated by the company Policing Lab and is equipped with 360-degree cameras, license plate readers, audio sensors, thermal imaging, and more.
It has the capability to identify folks that are in a restricted area, that are hiding in shrubbery, or an overwatch position, someone on a rooftop.
If we have an active situation, an active shooting, or a critical response, I'm able to send this vehicle in, and it will deploy a drone that will give us aerial footage real time for our deputies that are responding.
PUG can drive pre-planned routes on its own, and the sheriff says it will be a critical crime-fighting tool and a bridge to boosting confidence in the community.
For the first few months or a year or so, we're going to have a deputy in that vehicle before it goes fully autonomous. And one of the reasons is we want to hear from our community what they like about it, what their concerns are.
If it's more than autonomous patrol cars that frighten you, you may want to look away now. October is here, which means the 31 days of Denton Halloween have begun, and here's Kylie Monroe with one of the many events happening this October.
Halloween is in full swing here in Denton, and the city has partnered with Rose Costumes to bring to life the Garden of Villains. The outdoor path between City Hall and the Denton Civic Center is now featuring several mannequins dressed as classic Scooby-Doo villains. So get your mystery gang together and come on down to Quakertown Park. For NTTV Nightly News, I'm Kylie Monroe.
The first wave of tickets to the 2026 World Cup has come and gone. FIFA claimed over 4.5 million people signed up for a lottery to have first access to buy tickets, with winners receiving time slots to log in and purchase tickets. These tickets range from $60 to a whopping $670 depending on where you want to sit. The 2026 World Cup will be held in Canada, Mexico, and right here in North Texas. And speaking of North Texas, Aaron, our team had some pretty big wins this past week.
That's right, Katie. Our sports anchor, Jadel Miralles, is here to tell us the latest. Jadel?
Right, guys, up next is the Dallas Stars game against St. Louis UNT volleyball and an important announcement from President Harrison Keller. Tune in right after the break.
Has this ever happened to you?
My bike is gone.
Stolen bikes are an epidemic sweeping college campuses across America.
What am I supposed to do?
It's quite simple. The We Mean Green Fund has partnered with the UNT Police Department to offer free bike locks to any UNT student with a bike. Just show up with your bike in tow and ask.
Now I'll never lose my bike ever again.
Enough worrying. Get your bike lock today.
I wonder what's on the radio today. I don't know about this. This is not it.
Everything alternative, commercial free. 88.1 Indie.
Here at KNTU, we have two traditional stations, 88.1 Indie and KNTU Jazz. We've also recently launched an internet radio station called Mean Green Hits. If you want to hear more, you can check us out at MediaNorthTexas.com.
That was pretty good.
Thanks, guys. In St. Louis last Tuesday night, the Dallas Stars beat the Blues 5-3. It was their preseason play. Dallas scored 2 quick goals in the opening frame, while Dylan Holloway responded with a goal for the Blues. In the second, both teams scored and stayed even, with Philip Broberg scoring for St. Louis, while Dallas kept the lead. But in the third, the Stars pulled away and took control. Tyler Seguin had 1 goal and 2 assists for the Stars to score 2 more, locking in the win. Holloway netted his second goal, but the Blues could not come back. Both teams are now moving on to prepare for their opening night. And UNT volleyball is on a roll. They head into their conference play against Florida Atlantic tomorrow evening. The team currently stands at 11-3. They're looking to earn their first big road win as AAC play continues. And lastly, UNT President Harrison Keller made an important announcement last night that there will be no classes after 12 noon on Friday, October 10th. This will allow students to support the Mean Green football team. The Mean Green are coming off a historic win, a 5-0 win against South Alabama, and will head off against University of South Florida next week. That's it for sports. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Jadel. Now, before we leave, let's head back out with the Mean Green Oktoberfest.
Navaya, what's going on out there? We are definitely getting some FOMO here in the studio.
I'm having so much fun here. Don't forget, until 9 p.m. tonight, you have the chance to be able to attend this. And don't miss the chance to hear some music, eat a pretzel, which I've already kind of finished, and drink some apple cider vinegar or some beer if you're over the age of 21. Or just hang out and learn about their heritage. Again, I'm Navaya Pantoja with NTTV News.
Thanks for watching NTTV Nightly News.
Join us again next week here on North Texas Television.